Dash is removed. Got the airbox to take out. A bunch of other stuff. Computer. Dash is right here. Chuck that into this parts one here. And then once you get a bunch more tools out, once I get the run out of the shop, that sucker's coming out. And we'll have the firewall ready. Slap that 350 in there. Okay, airbox is out there. I pulled the carpet out just to see what it would look like. It's pretty rusty. There's a rust hole right in the corner there. But it ain't too bad. I cut the carpet right down here. Right up the side and down. Should be pretty good to go. But I gotta lob this right here. Pulled those two bolts out there, and I'm just gonna chop it here, and that's good to go. Got the carpets cleaned up on both sides last night, and I just hacked this sucker off with the hacksaw. Also, move the sucker from its location with the skid steer, and also move that pile of garbage out of its way. So it's ready to just come with the forks, lift her up, and bring her to the shop. Pulled out the rest of the wiring harness, and I started using my brain a little bit more about why the hell that trailer connector thing was on there. That mount and that mount means there's something hooked up here, and it's probably a snowplow by the way it looks. I don't see a mount where they would have put like a winch, so it could have been a hydraulic one, but whatever it was, it needed a trailer hookup anyways. But these suckers, we've actually put a snowplow on one of these before. It's really hard in the automatics, but this is a manual, so that would have been fine. Anyway, so the wiring's out, most of it, all the chopped wires, so it made 3 chunks instead of one big one. Just yanking more stuff out, breaking more crap. Have to grind these suckers off because stupid Suzuki had to use a star instead of regular number 10 or some shit. But and then also, there's stuff like these side marker lights that were sitting right in here. This is the kind of stuff that you gotta save. Nice shape, right? You gotta save if you're making lots of projects where you need stuff. That'd be a perfect signal light for some sort of project, right? Like, I don't know. Like if you had to, and you're ripping this piece of shit as your daily, you could just zip tie that sucker right to that bumper there, and then just run wires to it if you got screwed with that sucker as your signal, and you're good to roll. Just my opinion. Access hole has been opened for yanking the motor and the transmission together out. Put all that crap there, and then you can also get a closer look here. So believed to be the snowblade mounts are here and here, which are tied on to their own little bar down here, which is like, that looks like an exhaust clamp is put on there, or it just could be a regular U-clamp. I don't know what I'm saying. 2 bolts there. So all this, if it won't come off easy, it's just going to get torched off, because again, we're going for performance and speed with the Suzuki Sidekick. Got this sucker in the shop. Motor, we pulled out of the 350 Chevy this morning, that square body. Transmission, it only had reverse when it was in the truck, but there's something that was unhooked on it. We hooked that up, and then we ran this thing on while it was hanging on the engine crane, and it ran mint, and then it also worked for forwards now, that transmission, because it never did before. So that'll be good. We're going to jab it in. We also got the motor up for the Sidekick. That's hanging right there. Just going to haul that away. Yeah, it's all good there. Pulled out the front diff. That's right here. And then also we cut the drive shafts short. Yeah, it's a mess. That's fine. We cut the drive shafts for the front. CV axles. We cut them right there, where the other boot would go that holds the whole hub bearing assembly in, and then we slap that back in with the brain. This thing, whatever this thing's called, snap ring. Okay, and then we don't have the locking hub assembly, so we'll probably just make a dust cover for that, or we'll find some cheap locking hubs that don't work and put them on there. But she's ready to go. I was just hauling the Sidekick motor away before I lower this one in. Start building some mounts. My buddy came over and gave me a hand to do all this, pull the motor out of that. So that's good. Yeah, we'll slap this sucker in there. Hopefully more things line up than it should, because so far it's been going really good. Haven't had any major hiccups. This motor's great. It's only got 100,000 kilometers on it, verified by the original owner who bought this truck. I'm pretty sure he bought it new. But this motor hasn't propelled a car down the highway since 1994. That's what the license plate said on the truck, and the previous owner confirmed that. And the truck, this is a 1980 motor. Motor's all mounted up, firewall's cut out still. Got our temporary dash wired up, and then I'm wiring up wipers, and then also the horn off the same wiper thing, because that's mint. That's on and off, and then start. Temperature gauge. Rad's mounted on the back. Good angle irons. Mounted there, then we're just going to run some 1.5 inch exhaust pipe. Cut a hole in the box there. Yeah, the box. And then runs up to the motor, and then I even got the hood to close like mint. So you pop it with the original latch. Transmission lines are tied together. Doesn't have a fuel tank yet, but that's a work in progress. Lay that sucker back. And there's the 350 hiding under there. Even the original air bonnet fits on there, so that's sweet. Just a temporary fuel tank for running it, but yeah. So I got to get some hoses and then some more pipe to finish that up. But the bottom one's hooked up right there. Alternator's charging. I was wiring up the horn there. That'll be good. But yeah, I weld those headlight buckets back in because I had to torch those out to get it in there. As long as the transmission works. Don't know if that'll work for sure yet. But then if it does work, I can weld those headlight buckets in. Find a good shaped grill for this sucker and slap her all back together. Got brakes now, so that's good. Even so the wipers are wired up, but I had to put a different switch because the other one was foo-barbed. I put a second horn in here, right here. So now it's extra loud. Test a few things out here, fire it up. Pedal's pretty mint. I just used washers cut in half, welded them on, and it holds it good. Timing isn't perfect, but I also got this on here. Speed gauge works. Right now it's in gear. I can't control that because I haven't put my aftermarket shift thing in yet. But I got no drive shaft, so we should be fine. So, on, start. Something sloshing around in there. It's probably just water that I had put for the coolant, but that's fine. Yeah, like I said, timing isn't perfect. The sun is kind of running rough there, but it's also cold, and it also has no coolant, so I'm not running it for long. But still waiting on parts for stupid hoses and stuff. It's been a few days into waiting for parts, but whatever. And now this is where the piece of shit sits, right here. Out in the cold. I'm gonna try and do a cold start on it there. I'll just get this snow moved off, and I'll turn the camera back on and see what we can break. It's sat here since August, which is where all those clips, that's when those were filmed. Everything's the same. I ain't done much work to it at all. I'll pull that air bonnet off, dump some fuel down the gap, and see if it wants to fire up. It's about minus 12 Celsius. Which is, I don't know what it is in Fahrenheit. When I edit this later, I'll probably add that in on the screen. but it was minus 25 this morning when I woke up, so the block's probably still pretty cold. Well, we'll see if it wants to light off, but I remember the starter being weak in the cold last time I tried to cold start it back when it used to be in the pickup truck, but see if anything happens. Oh, and the driver door, the handle broke, so I can't get it open now, so I'm having to go through the passenger to click the button. Right down the hatch. Fill the bowl right full. Well, gasoline everywhere just helps, you know. I didn't check the oil, but you don't have to check that stuff anyways. It'll fire up without oil. Won't run for as long, but that's fine. So we still got everything's the same here, except for I added this little switch that says, you can't read it, but it says engine brake. That's off the semi-truck, just for the hell of it. Battery's all hooked up. See if the small block wants to light off. I'm guessing I hooked the battery up the wrong way. Great. Battery connection was loose, tightened her up, now she should be good to roll. And now she's out of fuel. I don't know what all that smoke's from, but I'd rather just not worry about it, right? It's fine. Cold starts are good for shit. Well, I would say it fired up pretty good. I mean, it's only minus 12, but whatever. I guess we'll hit it again, see what happens. Oh yeah. Majestic. Yeah, so I guess we'll continue this project in the summer, but there you go. 350 Chevy and a Suzuki Sidekick. Can it move under its own power? No. Is it a piece of junk? Of course it is. I mean, look at the rust. It's just weight reduction. Look at the rocker panel. It's just great. But, yeah, finish this thing up later this summer. Find some other projects to do in the meantime.